Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Cardboard Cast. We are getting into the top cut of Lille Regionals. We're going to go show the graphic in just a second of who we're going to see in these top 8 matches. Joining me once again is Victor Aung.
Hi.
Hi.
Lost Box and Urshifu enthusiast.
Heck yeah. I guess I'm just an Urshifu enthusiast. It's really funny. Every time I go to like locals now, everyone just calls me the Rapid Strike guy, and everyone's just like they bring Arceus piles and like you're not playing Rapid Strike again, right? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And they're like, no. So yeah, showing the bracket of what's to come here. So we got Alberto, who we saw earlier playing the Giratina list, coming in as the 1 seed. They're going to be playing against Patrick, playing colorless Lugia. And then the next match is going to be Gabor playing Mew VMAX. I don't know which variant. Against Arthur, who was playing the Turbo Lost Box. We just saw that.
Right. Yep.
The next match is Consta versus Hermione. We did see Hermione earlier playing the Hisuian Gudra V-Star, where they didn't use any Gudras. Maybe we'll see that later. And then Consta is also playing Mew VMAX. That one's playing Fusion Mew, I believe.
Okay.
And then the final one is Fabien versus Owyn. We just saw Owyn earlier playing that Chien-Pao, and Fabien is playing the Gardevoir. I think that's the match we skipped, was Fabien's match.
Okay.
So let's see, which match are we going into next here? Let me go ahead and scroll ahead. I'm not sure which one they picked for stream.
You decide, chat. We'll have a vote.
Yeah, go ahead and vote, chat. It's looking like Fabien versus Owyn. So we did see Owyn play earlier. Okay, so I got it all switched up. Chat, I hope you're ready. I'm ready. Are you ready, Vic?
I am ready.
Let's get it. Top 8. I think the only thing to point out is that the timing rules are different. So instead of 60 minutes or 50 minutes best of 3, these are actually 75 minutes. So they're quite a bit longer. Do you want to explain the sudden death thing in case it pops up?
Yeah, so sudden death, basically if both players are up 1 game on the series, they're on the 3rd and final game. Obviously, you have to have a winner, right? You can't end on a tie. So they're going to determine the winner based off who is winning the game, and that'll be determined based off prizes. So who has taken more prizes? If there's no time left, there's no turns left, because there's 3 extra turns after time, it will be determined based off prizes.
Yep. So something to keep in mind. It may not happen. It doesn't happen that often, but if it does, now you know. And I think we're going to go into the game. So this is going to be, again, Fabien versus Owyn. Getting into the game here. We're going to see the prizes in just a second. So, Gardy versus Chien-Pao. Pretty normal prizes. That crest being so high up and the prizes might be an issue potentially for some kind of snipes later. Cresselia's attack, Moonglow Reversal, I believe is what it's called. That's the wrong Cresselia. Let me find it. What Cresselia is this from? Lost Origin? Lost Origin. Moonglow Reverse. You move 2 damage counters from each of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon, so you can use it to snipe things like Manaphy or probably Frigibax is probably the common one here. It places damage counters, so it actually goes right through Manaphy's wave availability. So could be relevant here, but not going to be played anytime soon in this game. It's also useful for healing your Gardevoirs, which naturally just kind of, or your Pokemon, because they naturally just take damage from the Psychic Embrace of Gardevoir.
That's right. Something I will say about this matchup, I haven't personally played much of it, but I have heard that it is very, very favored for Chien-Pao. That I think it's, according to my sources, it is Chien-Pao's favorite matchup. So we'll see if that comes true or not.
I know Jake Gearhart was like a complete doomer about this matchup and actually like swayed him off of Gardy for a while, but that's because he was playing against people who were playing the Avery too. So when you're playing against Avery, the match is basically just an auto win for Chien-Pao.
Right.
They have like 5 turns to get off or like 4 turns to get off like Avery canceling Cologne cross switcher play with Greninja to just immediately decimate your entire board. So Chien-Pao is pretty much going away from that. I guess they think the matchup's still good enough without it. So
yeah, I think it's still really strong without it because you do cut the Avery, but you do have more aggressive, like you play 4 copies of the Pokestop, you play the 2 Super Barrel, so you're more aggressively drawing cards to get that Cologne play off more consistently. Right. So I can see this quickly going in Owyn's favor
Yeah, I mean, just getting that period is still really effective at slowing down the Gardevoir, if depending on the timing of it, especially. So we'll see what happens here. Owyn starting off very normally, VIP pass Nest Ball, starting things off, attaching with a water energy to the Chien-Pao. Did use Shivery Chill earlier, allowing you to get 2 basic water energies from your deck. So natural energy acceleration there, or energy gathering for Chien-Pao. Zinnia's Resolve in Fabian's list. That's pretty special.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
different.
a really neat card. Not commonly in Gardevoir, not commonly found in Gardevoir decks, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Pretty much every deck in the format wants to go wide, if they can. VIP pass, obviously, integral in setting up your board, and it does mean that if your opponent gets the setup they want, they will have 5 or 6 Pokemon out.
Right.
And Zinnia's drawing 5 or 6 with no like hand restriction. It doesn't limit your hand to a certain size, just how to discard 2 cards, can make those Gardevoir hands find the combo pieces it needs in the right time, in the right order. I like the inclusion, although maybe not the supporter that he wants to see this turn.
Right, not this turn, but yeah, really good just for building out those big hands. And a lot of times that's just kind of what you need, is to get enough of the pieces in your hand at one time to get the combos that you need. Arzon going down, getting any of the basic non-rule box Pokemon onto your bench with it, very useful. Does help your opponent too, but Owyn doesn't really need another non-rule box basic right now anyway, so it doesn't matter too much for them.
Fabien just trying to set up as best as they can. Manaphy on the bench already, which is definitely a good sign.
Yep. No Mew Celebrations Mew going down this turn, but totally fine still.
Does Owyn have the nuts? Can he go for the Cologne Manaphy?
Chien-Pao, they always do. I see Irida and Superior in hand. This is, yeah. Something could happen here. Gonna Artisan. Potentially thin out the deck a little bit more. Grab another Frigivax, grab Manaphy. Whatever they want to grab here. Gonna grab the 70 HP Frigivax, which has been a lot more popular, I feel like, lately, especially. To just have one of in your deck.
I think you do need one, otherwise
yeah, for sure.
It's pretty tricky against Lost Box sometimes. The weird positions you find yourself in.
Against Rabbit Strike too, it's pretty massive.
Yes. Yeah, I think it matters a lot. I mean, you hate starting that thing, of course, so you can't really afford to play more than one, but the one is pretty good.
Grab Manaphy, must already have Excalibur in hand. Grab the Rare Candy as well. Or we're just going to Ultra Ball to thin out more to get the Excalibur. That works too.
Looks like we're not going to get that insane cross-switcher play this turn, but that is okay. Owyn has plenty of time to make that happen.
Yep.
Fabien will most likely have to evolve into a Curlia or 2.
Yeah, plenty of time. Not the fastest start for Fabien here, so. Comes down the Excalibur. B-Barrel's down as well. Can Industrious Incisors for quite a few more cards with all his waters leaving the hand. Going to be drawing 2 here.
Interesting that he's choosing to hold on to 1 water. Ooh, double cross-switcher. Okay, hold on to the water for the okay, that makes sense. Didn't concealed yet.
What doesn't have Cologne though. Draw.
Imagine if he hit Cologne.
Oh my god. Okay, just gonna go take out the Greninja here, which is still pretty useful, like slowing down Guardy even more here. Mirage Step an option.
Yes. Owyn was so close to winning the game on the spot, but instead, he's just going to be rewarded with winning the game eventually, most likely.
Yeah. Still very dominant position, very strong start, and an amazing hand if the Cyano doesn't come down here, which probably will from Fabien. We'll see.
Fabien eyeing down that Mirage Step. Mirage Step, the way you play with this card is really interesting because it only searches for Curlias in the deck. So if you do draw into extra Curlias, you can no longer Mirage Step them out into play. So there are times where you don't really want to draw cards like this Iono. Right now Fabien's putting a Curlia back in the deck, which is definitely good, but you kind of don't want to see additional Curlias if you can help it.
Yeah, if you do grab one, you can just evolve the Ralts and at least get some refinement value out of it. If you're not getting it the next turns, you're at least getting it this one turn. Didn't get the psychic energy, it looks like. No psychic at all.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. So Fabien might have to level ball for Refinement
Yeah.
Corellia just to try and find it.
Jeez, this is
I
a
mean,
tough start.
there's a lot in the deck, so it's likely, even off one refinement, to be able to get there. We'll see. Refinement away. One of
Can
the
get a
two rare
fog
candies.
crystal, can
Do we
get...
see
Oh
Psychic?
my gosh.
No, it's not there.
Yeah, so just gonna level ball for another alts and then just go from there. That's
Owyn
brutal.
at least doesn't have Irida or Cologne yet.
Yeah.
Oh, he also got Irida, Ionode, so
Right,
no
right.
cross
So
butchers or anything like that. But I mean, it's gonna happen eventually, sooner rather than
there's clone.
later. That's one of the pieces you need.
Oh man, he just loses Mirage Step Curly for free now too. This is so sad. Probably going for the Ultra Ball here, deciding what to discard. Even if there's nothing out to Heavy Ball, it makes more sense to play it just to thin out your hand some more. We'll see what it prizes here. Nothing grabbable. Oh, you can grab the Bidoof. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
One cross switcher prize, which does make it a little bit harder to just get to.
That's true.
Yeah, Owyn didn't even play the did Owyn even play the Superior Energy Retrieval last turn? I don't even know.
Last turn, I don't think they played any energy retrieval.
Yeah. So could bench this Bidoof, or just Ultra Ball fodder it. Gonna Artisan first here. And just shuffle the deck to I think they're just failing the Artisan, yeah. So I'll have the B-Barrel for next turn. Gonna Shivery Chill. The classic shuffle deck into... Oh, wait. Oopsies.
Can't say I haven't done that one before.
Oh, every other round for me, for sure.
So we see two waters. We see Superior.
Yeah, it's kind of...
don't really want to discard
the Ultra Ball decision's hard,
barrel.
yeah. So they're getting rid of the B-Barrel, so they have to rod for it back if they want to roll that other one anytime soon, which I guess is fine. Like, they're in such a strong position.
I believe the Ultra Ball is just failing and actually
Going for
playing the Cologne this turn.
Pokestyle's pretty good. Rod and Nest Ball, so at least the other B-Barrel can come back.
I'm not sure if I agree with this play of going for the Cologne this turn, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
that's rough.
I imagine you do play a second, so
yeah,
it's not a huge loss. It just makes it a little bit awkward for you to try to find that later.
Yeah, it just adds a lot more pressure than necessary to like get something going next turn or the turn after. There's one more piece you now have to hit.
That is true.
Attaching even more water energies, all from those Superior Energy Retrieval, which you just discard 2 cards from your hand and you get to grab 4 basic energy from your discard pile. You just can't grab the ones you just discarded by playing the card. So a lot of energy in the discard already. Was able to grab 4 and take the KO on the Mirage Step Curlia, which now puts Fabien in a really rough position here.
I mean, especially the fact that he has no psychic energy in discard right now. You need a couple of those if you want to get a knockout here.
Yeah, I feel like really I guess you're like the only thing I could think of doing here would be just trying to Mirage Step again and hitting it this time. And then that way, like, they go down to 3 prizes the next turn, and then you just have to take a 2 prize knockout every turn, but that's not going to happen because they're just not going to put down more Chien-Paos, right?
Yeah.
So
I think you kind of just have to go for it and maybe like Pokestop, hit 2 or 3 psychic, maybe a reversal energy, a baby guardy out. That's a start. We 2 psychic in hand plus an Ultra Ball.
Finally got some, yeah. So kind of going back to the concession question, at what point do you concede this game?
If you don't get the KO here, I think you concede. But I think there's definitely a lot more leeway. Maybe you don't because it's just a 75-minute timer, so I think
You
there's
do
a
have a
lot more
lot of
leeway.
time, yeah. But it
Yeah,
is Guardy, so a lot of time doesn't necessarily mean that you still might not finish game 3, you know?
we do see 2 psychic energy off that Pokestop.
That's
So
amazing.
there's
3 in
3 in the
discard
discard
now, so
now. You can add 2 more with that Ultra
pretty
Ball, going
good.
to
Jeez.
5.
Well,
And
they have to draw
5
them eventually, so
5 plus attachment for turn would be 6. That would be enough to knock out the Chien-Pao. So you stick in the game, and you are slowly whittling down your canceling clone moonlight shuriken targets.
right.
So if Owyn doesn't get it off this next turn, potentially you can candy up another Gardevoir, prevent him from taking easy prizes that way. Maybe hit them with some Ionos back to back and win the game with the power of hand disruption. It's possible. It's
Yeah,
doable.
for
Not
sure.
looking great, but it's doable.
It really just depends on how Owen's draws are here in this upcoming turn. I believe it does have Irida in hand. Yeah, Irida and Iona, so a lot of options. There comes down the 6 energy for Fabien. 1 was attached, the rest was from Psychic Embrace, so that's the knockout for Chien-Pao. And Fabian's on the board now. Got a reversal off that too, which can be pretty huge. Owen promoting the Radiant Greninja. Does have Nest Ball, does have Chien-Pao in hand. Starting with the Pokestop, getting Cross Switcher. Oh, okay.
Only 1 so far. So if he had the clone, and actually would have been the play, but unfortunately had to use that the last turn just to thin it from his hand to draw a couple more cards off the B-Barrel. So still 1 piece short, including that Irida. No Chien-Paos in deck either. I don't think. I think 1 is prized, 1 was discarded, 1 was knocked out.
And I don't think Owen rotted the B-Barrel last turn. So I think it's still in the discard, so you only are getting 1 B-Barrel here, most likely.
Okay. Oh, Chien-Pao's in hand at least, so that's good. But what do you do here? Do you take a knockout with
This is another like sequencing thing that's kind of awkward too, is like going for like timing when you sequence the B-Barrel, right? Because if that was like earlier before the Pokestop, your hand wouldn't have gotten as flooded as much with all these random cards. And now it's kind of hard to get a B-Barrel off with these specific cards in hand. The Superior does help, so you can discard 2 more cards here. So you're going down 3 cards. You can play the Chien-Pao, and then you're down to 2. Getting rid of 2 VIP passes as well. Still short quite a few pieces.
There are 2 options. If you hit Cross Switcher, you could Cross Switcher up Gardevoir EX and then go for the Chien-Pao knockout. You can still do that if you wanted to. But instead, just going to Moonlight Shuriken, the active.
Yeah, this can be kind of tough now because that Moonlight Shuriken play is just so much harder to get off now, because not only do you need all the pieces, you need to rod back in the Greninja after this turn.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. I think Owen, with that play, is saying that's not the line I'm going for. I'm just going to try to, beat the active over and over again until hopefully I win.
Right.
I think that's the plan, but the play is still live. It's just harder to do if Fabien can find those Ionos in a timely fashion. I think something that will come into play is that Fabien chose to bench 2 Ralts this past turn, so even evolving one of them up to a Guardy does mean that there is a way for this Greninja to take 2 prizes if Owen draws into the perfect set of cards.
There's a Greninja back from, I believe that was rotted last turn. So getting that back, pretty nice. Get some more draw power going. Get more Psychics in the discard with the Concealed Cards ability. And yeah, honestly, Fabien just like making the most out of such a dismal board state, with just so few Ralts and Curlios on board, having like 1 evolved at any point in time pretty much until last turn. and still
Yeah.
making the most out of it. So pretty cool to see.
Owen
Still
just
in a
never
strong
got
position.
the big play out, right? The
Right.
Cologne cross switcher play. So that definitely puts Fabien in a position to win this game now that didn't happen. Fabien, I think, is going to Iono and attack with this Gardevoir EX, hopefully making Owen with the knockout this next turn.
Boss's orders coming up. Gonna deal with the Baxcalibur, which again adds more pressure here. I believe Owen does have Irida in hand, but now has to like Irida specifically for Baxcalibur Candy and can't really do anything else this next turn. Gonna be
This
using
is
Gardevoir's attack.
I guess this play makes even more sense than the Iono play because you are forcing them to find more and more resources. I believe Owen could have taken a Baxcalibur off the last Irida, but chose just to get the superior. Now is kind of forced to Irida for rare candy backs. We see the cross switchers, but no Cologne, unfortunately.
Yeah, now there's so much pressure for Owen to just like get the right pieces now. This is a kind of a tough situation. This like getting this Gardevoir kill is gonna be so hard.
I wonder if Owen maybe should have considered attaching a second water to that Greninja just to force Fabien to KO the Greninja instead of the Baxcalibur. I don't think that really helps too much because Owen doesn't have the resources to super rod it back anyways. Right. But it could have been a consideration because then you would be sure you would lose out on Greninja, but then you open up the play of Chien-Pao because your Baxcalibur would still be on the field.
Yeah, the one on the Frigibacks might not be doing too much here anyway, so definitely could have been an option. Thinking about playing these cross switchers.
Oh man, feels
Manual
bad for
attachment,
sure.
going to the Greninja. Thinking about it, deciding not to for now at least. Gonna conceal cards instead. Gets Pokestop and an Ultra Ball.
Do you want to cross switcher this turn? I think you can just.
What would you cross switcher?
Yeah. Irida can get you Candy Baxcalibur, but you do need Candy Baxcalibur and Superior to take a knockout on Gardevoir. So Irida's not enough.
Jeez.
Pokestop for 3.
Wow,
items.
And Candy. You have now Irida's not even like you can grab anything you want with Irida now.
Yep, you can grab Cologne, right? That's got to be the play now.
Wow, that was huge. Yeah, Cologne here would be massive.
I think Owen had to do it, had to go for that Pokestop, gets rewarded.
Jeez,
but it was really scary because
Pokestops.
If he discarded the Baxcalibur there and didn't hit Rod, that would have pretty much been game over.
Yeah, that's so scary because you can't Ultra Ball for it either. Because with this specific hand, like you can't discard 2 cards with this hand, at least before the Pokestop. Because they just had exactly the 2 cross switchers. It was tough.
Thinking about Super Rod here and just knocking out the Guard EX, I guess. Okay. Owen hit a Superior, right? Has Superior in hand.
I believe so.
Off the Pokestop.
Yeah.
So could have just gone with that play, I think, because you can Superior away the Iono and the Ultra Ball.
Yeah, taking out both Curlies would have been huge. But taking out Gardevoir EX ain't the worst thing in the world. And
I think I guess it makes sense because if you take out,
it's tough because like either way you're gonna win in 2 turns, or in the next turn. So like it just depends on. Do you think you're gonna have an easier time KOing what comes next, or taking this KO now with this?
I think either way, it doesn't seal up the game for you, but it puts you in a good position. If you do it this way, your opponent could theoretically boss up the Baxcalibur again, and then you would lose, right?
Right.
If you did it the other way, you get to save a little bit more energy on the field, and your Chien-Pao is like pretty much guaranteed to live. So I think I would have liked to see that, but I mean it's close. Either way, you're taking 2 prizes.
Yep.
Either way, you're forcing your opponent to find just a little bit more. Fabien now going to have to find a Guardi EX again, plus boss, I believe, is the best route to winning.
It's charging up the Bax Caliber a little extra. I'm wondering if going to keep an energy on it. Actually, you can keep 2 energy, yeah. So there is a 250 on the Gardevoir, so you do have to burn 5 energy, but that's no problem.
So you definitely leave. I think you definitely should leave at least 1 energy on this Chien-Pao, and that's what Owyn is planning on doing. That way you can still get a knockout with the Cross Switcher the turn after.
Gets the last Cross Switcher off of prizes.
4 Cross Switcher in hand now.
Jeez.
So what is Fabien's best win condition?
This is tough. Yeah. I don't even know. So you can't... I guess Shiny Arcana, 2 Psychic Energy. To get the KO on this. No, but that's not enough. That's only 5, right? Yeah. You need 6 energy to KO the Chien-Pao.
Yeah.
And the Bax Caliber will clean up if you put any damage on any of your Guardies.
So I guess you can just take a knockout with Baby Guardy and Iono. And then you would only be 1 energy away from Bax Caliber knocking you out, but your opponent could theoretically whiff. Not very likely though, because there's a barrel in play. So
right.
I'm not sure what the best route is.
Yeah, no one specifically left an energy in deck too when going for that last Shivery Chill. So the odds of just getting that last energy are pretty decent. Refinement here, getting rid of the Presses Research, gets an energy. Double reversal. That works.
Oh.
That works. Okay. And this seems pretty solid now. Bax Caliber can't one-shot. As long as you play the Iono here.
Yeah. You do have to play Iono.
Yeah, this looks pretty strong now. Gonna bench the Mew in the Zacian. Collapse away the Mew. Just to thin out more and play the Iono.
I wonder how thin the deck is.
Pretty thin.
It's pretty thin, but not thin enough that like you can guarantee it off Pokestop or anything like that.
Right.
So what is this 1 card now?
So Brainwave activates.
Really needs to shuffle the deck now before this.
Nest Ball shuffles it. Yeah, B-Barrel can put in a lot of work here. I believe the other B-Barrel's in there, so 2 B-Barrels could happen here. I don't know when it got rotted. Probably last turn, though. Can't really see the discard, unfortunately, for Owyn.
Do we see the Cross Switcher energy?
Yep.
That's all. Yep. The first 3 cards.
Jeez Louise. That was really well played on both sides.
Yeah.
Those are a lot of like tough situations on back-to-back turns, and just played really, really well to maximize your odds there.
The comedic timing of first 3 cards being exactly what I said just seconds before.
Yeah, Owyn whiffing the canceling Cologne Manaphy play just didn't matter the whole game. Fabien's kind of slow start. Seemed like it was recovered and then suddenly mattered a lot more later on, but that was still an incredibly close match despite how rough that start was for Fabien. So really cool kind of display of both decks, how they can function when pushed to like non-ideal circumstances, right? But neither of them got off their desired like starts or plays at all, and just kind of playing around that and making the right plays still was pretty good.
I think this does prove to me a little bit though that the Chien-Pao, 2 reversals, interesting.
At the top too. Jeez,
that's tough. But I think this does prove to me a little bit that Chien-Pao is definitely pretty favored in this matchup because, I mean, Owyn didn't get off the single best play you can do against this Gardevoir deck.
Right.
And still yet was able to win anyways. So if we see Owyn being able to do it this time, it should be a blowout. But it's not guaranteed. Like we saw last game, it's not guaranteed.
It could have gone any way at any point in time. The draws are just a little different on both sides, so... Starting here with a Battle VIP pass, starting with Manaphy, not ideal, but you do want one in play anyway at some point, so... it looks like the Mew's going to come down here pretty soon. Celebrations Mew, we talked about it in some other matches, but pretty useful turn 1 especially. You just need an energy to retreat to it. which there you go from the Fog Crystal, and allows you to potentially dig for another VIP pass. And even if you don't get VIP pass, you're still pretty likely to get, say, another Fog Crystal or a Level Ball, even an Ultra Ball, just something to get more Pokemon down early.
And if you're up against a deck like this Chien-Pao backed Caliber deck, which needs a turn to evolve up their Pokemon, it means that Mew gets double value because you get to Mysterious Tail this turn. It's not going to get knocked out next turn, and you get to do it twice. So lots of value from this Mew here, especially given that we hit VIP Pass.
Yeah, first card VIP Pass. Huge, very important. And now Fabian's set up and is just like, that's it. That's my turn. That's it. I'm ready to go. And has a couple supporters in hand, too. I believe, yeah, Zinnia. I think there's one other one as well. So definitely has options. Might have to bust out the Zinnia early again this game. We'll see how wide Owyn is able to go. Starting with Shivery Chill, checking the prizes. I didn't see what's in Owyn's hand, so I'm not sure if there's VIP coming or not. Ooh, that's a lot of water. That's not ideal. There's 6 waters in hand once the Shivery Chill goes down.
We're definitely playing a different game this game. Fabien getting to go first, getting 3 Ralts down.
Okay, there's
Owyn
Irida.
having just way too many energy.
Yeah. Irida allowing you to get an item and a water Pokemon, so grabbing the best item you can this turn, the Battle VIP Pass. And Greninja will combo really nicely with all the waters in your hand. Just letting you draw a couple extra cards, hopefully draw into another VIP potentially. Looks like gonna concealed first before using the VIP Pass, just to maximize the odds of getting any Pokemon.
Does make sense.
Oh!
Hey!
Are you serious?
One VIP pass too many. You don't even need that many.
Oh my god. Wow. That is something.
Owyn thinking about playing the third one down, just taking it out of the hand in case you...
You might as well, I mean...
The one downside is, like, if you need Ultra Ball or Superior Energy Retrieval fodder, it's a close call, but it likely won't make a huge difference either way if you choose to play it or not.
Alright, so we got 2 Bidoofs, 2 Frigibacks for Ninja, and our 1 Chien-Pao, and this board looks very strong all of a sudden.
That being said, though, no Bax Caliber yet, so not guaranteed to get the attack next turn.
Yeah, no Irida in hand now, too. So
yeah, no Irida, just a rare candy, I think.
Zinnia happening, and that's the Champions Festival.
Champions Festival, of course, legal in our format still, just barely. It does let you heal 10 damage from each of your Pokemon, which does let your Gardevoir hit certain numbers more easily because Gardevoir has an even amount of health. So if you get to heal 10, you get to sometimes Psychic Embrace one more time than you would normally be able to.
Yeah, Champions Festival is a very mythical, fabled card out here in the West because we can only play the English version. And English versions are very expensive. A lot more reasonable to play it in Europe because you can play different languages. And the different languages are so much cheaper. Like, you can get them for like $20, you know? Whereas a normal one costs like over 200 in English. So,
yeah.
Not super surprising to see and can situationally be pretty useful.
We see the rare candy up into the Shining Arcana Gardevoir. We see an evolution into Mirage Sepcurlia. Do we see an attack this turn, though? Looking less and less likely as the turn progresses, because it would involve a rare candy Gardevoir EX. It looks like Fabien is going to be content with just giving up a prize, sitting up for next turn, getting ready for what is yet to come.
Yeah, not a lot of Psychics in discard anyway, so not too much you can do here. Just going to pass. Again, getting that double value from the Mew. Very nice. Shivery Chill starting off for Owyn here. Getting 2 waters.
Top deck.
What was it?
There was a Cross Switcher top deck, and Owyn has a Pokestop in hand, so with some luck...
Yeah, get those B-Barrels rolling, get some drawn to Irida, and you're set.
Concealed cards for 2. Do we see Irida? Do we see a cross switcher?
No.
None of that. So
It's going to be down to Pokestop.
cross switcher.
Oh.
And clone.
Oh my gosh.
I think he has it. No. He doesn't have Bax Caliber, right?
No backs, yeah.
Oh, so close. One piece away.
Dude, these matches are stressful. Oh my gosh.
Unfortunately for Owyn, that Hisuian Heavy Ball cannot grab that Bax Caliber from the prizes. It's got to stay there. Just grabbing for Jabax instead. And Owyn not going to be able to make that Bax Caliber happen this turn. Thankfully, though, can still get a knockout with just manual attachments. Hailblade for 60, knocking out the Mew. Nice and easy. Fabien probably going to try for that response KO this turn.
Does get the Hisuian Hoball back off prize is not really what you want to see, but one prize card down, and now Fabien will try to respond. I'm going to start off with the Shining Arcana here. Gets a Level Ball and Ultra Ball. Very useful.
Here's the question. Does Fabien know that 2 reversal are prized? I would assume so.
I would assume so. At this point, with how much searching has been done, even if you don't catch it on the first search, you probably catch it eventually. Gardevoir
How many energy are in discard?
Like 2. Oh, 1. There's 1. Now there's 2.
So we're going to have to see a lot of energy being discarded. That is a good start, though. Ultra
and you
Ball.
have the Ultra Ball in hand, so...
Yeah, Refinement into 2 Psychic with an Ultra Ball in hand. I think Fabien is going to get there. 2 in the discard now. Ultra Ball gets you to 4. 1 on the Gardevoir in the active already, so just 1 energy away.
Very close. Yeah, I think both games Fabien hasn't been able to Zinnia away Psychic Energy both times.
Oh, Fabien actually not going to go for the knockout on the Chien-Pao. Actually looking to, I mean, Ultra Ball away research, I think, means something here.
Pokestop is also an option here. Could try to get another Psychic in the discard with that.
It's really risky. I think, I mean, yeah, I think you should do that if you're 1 Psychic away, but Fabien's going to go for the more safe play, I guess, because he is still 1 energy short, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of concerned that the Pokestop will discard some vital cards. So I think this is the guaranteed value play where you're definitely going to get a knockout in some way. Pokestop getting discarded. Rare Candy, Gardevoir EX.
And Clap Stadium just came down, by the way.
Yeah, down. Clap Stadium making it a little bit awkward for Owyn, having to discard one of those Bidoof. We actually might see the Bidoof getting knocked out. So I think that's kind of what Fabien was hoping for. Let's see if that's what Fabien chooses to do.
Draw power now very limited.
In one swing, Fabien takes both Bidoofs down. And I like this play a lot after seeing how it ended up playing out. I mean, the Gardevoir maybe could have gotten the revenge knockout on this Chien-Pao, and you would have had to prize race your opponent. But this way, Ionos will stick very hard.
One thing I just learned recently about Collapse Stadium is it actually states on the card that the player who plays it has to discard first if they have to lower their bench size. I always thought it was the opposite. Situationally can matter because what your opponent discards will dictate what you discard, right? Potentially. So
yeah.
It gets Superior. Still no Bax Caliber, and 1 is in the discard, or 1 is prized, unfortunately. So it's that much harder to draw here.
So close.
And just going to be a Hailblade again.
An amazing hand.
Cresselia fortunately has exactly 120 HP, so does die to perfect Hailblade, and Owyn did only have to remove 1 last turn, so no problem there, but you want to do fancier things. You want to do the Greninja, Manaphy, Cross Switcher, Canceling Cologne, and you're just not able to do that, so.
Owyn is close to being able to get that play off. Just needs to hit Irida off of top deck or that concealed cards. Super close. Fabien super rotting it back the Cresselia, so could potentially go for another Cresselia knockout or could go for the Gardevoir knockout Chien-Pao play.
Yeah, a couple options here. Gonna start with refining that battle VIP pass. Draws into a Guardy and a Kirlia.
This Kirlia was played last turn, right? It wasn't evolved this turn, right?
Correct, yeah.
Something that Fabien could consider is just to evolve that Kirlia up into Gardevoir and not play that Ralts, which would leave Owyn with 0 targets to Moonlight Shuriken to if you're going to
Right.
attack with this Gardevoir EX anyways. But if you're planning on attacking with Baby Guardy, then it makes more sense to bench Ralts because that will be a target regardless.
Oh, the boss's orders on the Greninja just to limit draw
Bosses.
power fully. So now Owen has a massive hand, but if there's no top deck of a actually useful card here, then this is actually pretty
Yeah.
bad.
What was that?
Yeah,
Oh,
Bidoof.
Bidoof.
Gonna just have to bench it and hope you could potentially get an out for B-Barrel next turn if you don't draw anything else.
Yeah.
This
Owyn,
is such a
such
weird
a large
position.
hand. Absolutely massive hand, but can't do anything with it. Baxcalibur is such a key component to this deck. Owyn was able to take 2 prizes, but neither of those 2 prizes were the Baxcalibur that he was searching for, so just has to pass it on over.
Yeah, very, very rough to not get it off prizes on either of those turns, or to not draw an out on any of the other turns, any of your other Baxcaliburs. And yeah, no draw power remaining. Gonna refinement. Gets Iono. Does not want to play that though if you can't. If you can help it. Shine Arcana. I think it's another boss. So it could be another option here.
Yeah, boss up Bidoof seems like an attractive option at this point.
Right.
Honestly, I don't know, probably not too bad either. You will put Owyn down to 4. You do know that they didn't have Rurikani Baxcalibur this past turn, but the hand is so huge that like you know that like if they're almost definitely 1 piece away.
Right.
So maybe Iono, there could be some benefit to putting them to be more than 1 piece away potentially.
Yeah, it's weird because they're 1 piece away, but they also have 0 of the pieces. They don't have the key piece to get the backs out, so it's like
Yeah,
pushing them towards that is tough, especially when Irida is like the only piece you actually need for that. So
that's
throwing down
true.
a bunch of energy onto the Gardevoir and just taking the Chien-Pao knockout. Not going to boss the Bidoof. Ultra Ball top deck, so at least
But your hand is so large.
But your hand's too large, yeah, so it doesn't matter. Would have been good if there was an Iono that turn, but oof. It's looking like it comes down regardless here. I believe, is there a Chien-Pao in hand?
Yeah, there is a Chien-Pao. But you can't even like knock out the Gardevoir EX with Chien-Pao because then you will just lose the game on the spot because this Guardy is already powered up, ready to go.
Right.
Ready to knock out a Chien-Pao. We can
Just
also
not being able to draw into any
Baxcalibur,
supporter here is rough.
You need to attack with the 1 prize this turn, and even then you're a bit too far behind.
Yeah. You can attack with the Baxcalibur, I guess, but then it dies.
3, yeah. Owyn just a turn too slow.
Yeah.
And I think that changes the complexity of this game from being a close one to a stomp. Just 1 more turn and it would have been enough, but at least enough to keep him in. But this Baxcalibur took way too long to show its face.
Right. A lot of energy going down, and is just going to rely on some Baxcalibur action here. Can't play the Chien-Pao right now. Otherwise, you will just lose. Playing the Cresselia. Manual attached to the Gardevoir EX. And the world is Fabian's oyster. Can play basically anything that they want here. Can take any line they want. Gonna Lost Vacuum the Collapse Stadium so they have the bench space back. Super Rod some stuff back in. And it kind of feels like no matter what Fabien does here, you can't really go wrong. As long as you attack.
I think you could attack Gardevoir EX and then charge up your baby Gardevoir before the Gardevoir EX goes down. That's one option. Another option is to just attack with Cresselia and leave the Gardevoir EX on the bench, knocking out the Bidoof after something like an Iono. Either way, I think you're pretty happy as Fabien. You should be close to closing this one out.
And because this is a top cut match, there was an extra 15 or 25 minutes on the clock, so we might actually see a game 3 almost finished.
I think it's likely that it'll finish with
Yeah,
3 turns of time and whatnot.
for sure, for
Owyn
sure.
in this scenario is actually probably incentivized to play it out completely because of those sudden death rules we were talking
Right.
about.
Yep.
The Chien-Pao deck usually is the one to take prizes early.
Yeah,
So
Gardevoir kind of disadvantaged in these kind of sudden death top cut rules. Just prizes being the only thing that matters once time is called within after the 3 turns are over. So looks like the Cresselia play is going to be it here.
Owyn kind of doing the right thing, just playing out all the actions, forcing your opponent to actually win the game. Here,
It didn't. Fabien didn't charge up fully anything else to attack.
that's true.
But it kind of just depends on what Fabien has in hand right now.
So Owyn could, in theory, cross switcher up
Yeah,
the Gardevoir
has cross
EX,
switcher, has Chien-Pao.
knock it out.
I think we're going to see exactly that.
What does Fabien? Fabien doesn't have any out to Gardevoir EX in the hand, so it's not over.
Did Fabien
Owyn still
Iono
has a
last turn, or
chance.
just the hand just got that thin?
Fabien Iono, I believe.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
going to say, I thought there was way more cards in there. Yeah, maybe that wasn't the play then. To Iono.
Well, Fabien could have preemptively attached some energy
Yeah.
onto something. I think maybe that would be a good play. Maybe he was worried about like cross switcher stalling out a Gardevoir EX or something like that.
Sure. But you don't need to invest all your energy. You know, it's like,
Yeah, just
there should still be one in the discard or something. Yeah, there's still.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think you can-
there's enough if you attach 5 to like Gardevoir.
yeah.
Probably would have been okay.
So now Fabien has to find it.
Yeah, that 2 damage on the Gardevoir actually did matter there too. 1 less energy to get rid of. For Hailblade. Going to Refinement away the energy. Does get the level ball. Gonna grab another Curlia Refinement and should be able to draw into Gardevoir with this. Okay, Ultra Ball.
Ultra Ball, Gardevoir EX. Okay. There we
And
go.
Owyn is going to just make sure that everything works out and is going to scoop the game.
Yeah, Cresselia going in with that Moonglow reverse again. Well played. Owyn having not the ideal start.
Right.
And we've seen now, I mean, I said the match was favorable. It looks favorable, but 1-1. And Owyn, the one that he did win, just barely getting there.
Yeah. Yeah. It was so tough too because Owyn just had like such a great strong turn 1, had like a lot of pieces in hand ready to go, and then just couldn't draw the actual important piece, the one piece that actually gets you into the game. Getting that Baxcalibur going just didn't happen for multiple turns, and even just like 1 turn earlier could have made a massive difference in this game. It's actually surprising how close that game still was, despite multiple turns of just the bare minimum happening for Owyn.
Yep, I agree. 1 more turn would have made all the difference in the world, I think. 2 VIP pass being prized.
Could be a problem. Unless Owyn just draws into all of them again. Going first. No VIP. That's tough.
Yeah. That Irida normally finds you VIP pass going second, but not going to be the case this time around.
Yeah, not the worst, honestly, in this scenario. You do at least have the Bidoof and the Frigibacks down. So, like, with a good draw, potentially, you can maybe get something going next turn and you're fine. And you know that your opponent's deck is slow enough that they're not going to take a KO on any of those early. So, looks like going to grab the Greninja instead, try to draw into something better instead of getting the guaranteed Frigibacks. A little risky, but if it works out, then cool.
If you go for Frigibacks this turn, you don't draw anything this turn. The next turn, you have to Irida. I mean, it would be fine if you top deck something out of it, but if you don't top deck anything, you would have to Irida.
Right, because the Irida just gets you. It doesn't get you the attacker you need, most likely. And there's a Frigibacks. Okay.
There's a Frigibacks and a Candy.
That works out really well. So now you have another conceal for next turn. Worked out amazingly, and yeah, still plenty of reasons to go for this play, even if you didn't hit the Frigibax. Just give you a
Owyn
chance for next
again,
turn.
I believe, is just one piece off. Because you can Irida for Baxcalibur, Rare Candy, Double Cross Switcher. So you can Irida for Baxcalibur Cologne, but
Right.
Owyn actually is one water energy away. Now 2 water energy away, attaching the water to the Bidoof and the active. So
Right.
not quite there.
We'll see. Probably not really even thinking about that as like the definite play, but it could have been an option. I mean, it still hasn't happened once today, so or during
Yes,
this round.
it hasn't happened yet.
But if it does happen, that will be very good for Owyn. So, and again, Owyn hasn't really needed it. These games has kind of been doing pretty well without it. So
He's definitely been making Fabien work for it.
Yep.
Ultra Ball now for the third brawl. So does Fabien have a way to get down this Manaphy, or is he just gonna
It's in
hope
hand.
that? Okay, never mind. Manaphy's in hand. I thought it was being chosen out of the deck, but Manaphy gonna come down, gonna prevent this Greninja from doing what it wants to do, at least for one turn, most likely.
Yeah, these the concealed cards draw is going to be pretty massive here for Owyn, and we'll kind of dictate what happens here.
So Owyn,
Nest Ball. Oh, that
Nest
gives you
Ball,
Chien-Pao.
that's great. Yeah. That's pretty much ideal. I mean, Irida could have gotten you there anyways, but you would be an energy short if I'm not mistaken. So now grabbing Chien-Pao, probably gonna Shivery Chill.
You just don't conceal then, right? And then you have it.
Well, you're doing 120 this turn with 2 waters, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I think what you would do is you would Shivery Chill, you would Concealed, and then you can Irida over Superior if you need to.
Okay, yeah. So here comes the Shivery Chill. Getting 2 basic water energy from the deck, put it into your hand. Very powerful, useful for Chien-Pao. Now the concealed cards comes down. There's the Baxcalibur, and the Rare Candies was still in hand from earlier, so now you can Irida for whatever. You can play Ayano if you really wanted to.
You do need energies, right? So to guarantee the KO, you would Irida for Superior.
Yep.
Ayano, you would need to hit 2 waters or Superior off of, so I think Irida for Superior makes sense here. You can grab like another Frigibax or something like that.
For sure. We'll see what water Pokemon gets grabbed here. Looks like probably another Frigibax.
Another option is Owyn could try and get the clone play off next turn off of this Irida. But it is a little bit dangerous because you know your opponent plays so many copies of Iono, so I think it makes more sense to just take the knockout while you can. Owyn thinking about it. Thinking about
Greninja kills worked out pretty well game 1, so getting another one seems nice.
Okay, Ultra Ball for Barrel. It's not guaranteed to get the KO, but your hand would be pretty dead if you went for the Chien-Pao play. You would have to Iono, which you don't love doing.
Right. Ultra Ball coming down. B-Barrel coming down as well. Gonna play a Nest Ball. Shorten the hand even more. Put down another Bidoof.
I wonder if the water should have been attached instead of the Nest Ball being played. Just discard the Nest Ball off the Ultra Ball. Make it a little bit easier on yourself.
Yeah. That's superior.
Superior.
Yeah.
So you can take a KO this turn, but you would have to discard a Cross Switcher to do it.
Yeah. Which you can't afford to do and still Cross Switcher next turn, I guess. So that's going to happen. Going to get rid of Cross Switcher and I believe Ultra Ball. Give those 4 energy. And is going to take the KO on Greninja. I don't know in hand for Fabien, so can definitely get something going here. Gonna level ball first. Get some refinement Curlia action going. Yeah, maybe this time we'll finally see the play happen. Owen might get there. We'll see. It does
It's
have
gonna be
a
hard.
much firmer board state than last game, so and
It's
this
gonna be
Iono
tough
might
with-
actually give more pieces here.
No, but Owen's putting 2 cross switches at the bottom right now.
Oh yeah, never mind. And yeah, just discarded one. So yeah, there's. Did you get Irida off of that? But 2 rods. I think it's Pokestop and Manaphy. Yeah. Another level ball coming down for Fabien. Another Roltz. 2 refinement Curlias down now.
Can Fabien get an attack off this turn? I think unlikely, but it's
Yeah.
possible.
What attack do you go for here?
Probably Moonglow Reverse is the best.
On Bidoof?
I think you would knock out Bidoof and then boss up Barrel later on in the game for Iono to stick.
Mm-hmm.
You can also do Frigibacks and then knock out Baxcalibur and force your opponent to kind of find Baxcalibur again. That's probably better, I would say. Yeah, I think that's probably the best thing you could do this turn. But that being said, it does require Fabien to find Rare Candy Gardevoir EX, which might not be the case.
Yeah, I don't see any pieces here.
Looks like we might see Mirage Step for 1 Kirlia.
It is.
Just actually going to bench the Rolls and retreat into Cresselia.
Oh, right. That Curly only has a retreat cost of 1.
Another benefit of playing this Curly, I guess.
There you go. I mean, you could have just retreated the Rolls, but.
True. That is true.
So Cresselia going up as fodder. Fabien whiffing there, and Owyn now in kind of, again, a pretty strong position. Not getting attacked there is really nice, and just is allowed to have the stronger board state for yet another turn.
Owyn is going to shuffle the deck now, so the cross switchers could be anywhere yet again.
Yep.
Pokestop available to Owyn is in hand, if I'm not mistaken. So concealed cards plus Pokestop can get Owyn somewhere.
And I believe does have Irida in hand as well. There's Candy. It's not really the item you wanted.
Yeah. So it looks
play down
like
Pokestop and hit it. Nothing useful.
Looks like Owyn will just have to take the knockout on the Cresselia.
Yeah, just a boring Chien-Pao knockout.
In theory, you could do it with Baxcalibur, but don't think you want to do that, given that you have no Baxcalibur in hand.
Right.
We do have Irida. Okay, so Irida can come through. Will we see... Looks like Owyn is eyeing down the backs.
Yeah, this will thin out a bunch of
And an
cards. You
Ultra
Rare Candy the
Ball.
backs, Ultra Ball, have 2 B barrels up, and you should be able to draw a couple of cards at the very least. Not a lot of cards. Unless you play a Rod. If you play a Rod, you can. And it looks like that is what's going to happen here. You're going to Rod in the B barrel first and then Ultra Ball it.
I don't think I've seen a Chien-Pao deck set up evolutions like this, having 2 barrels out and 2 Baxcaliburs out. I haven't played against much of the 2 barrel version. So I guess I'm less likely to have seen this, but this is pretty much the ideal setup you can hope for.
Right, yeah. This is the dream. This is what every Chien-Pao player dreams of and only gets once every 10 matches.
Now you're not even worried about Iono.
Yeah, jeez. Especially
We
with 2
see a
B barrel. Like,
Cologne.
what do you do against that? Cologne pretty nice there. Superior energy
Superior
retrieval.
coming through.
So yeah, canceling Cologne play maybe on the menu for next turn.
I don't know. You could Pokestop into 2 of them right here.
Already Pokestopped. Already Pokestopped.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Got a VIP pass.
Oh, yes. Never mind. Yeah, next turn then. Next turn. Could happen.
Ninja's loaded up and ready to go. So there's going to be a Hail Blade for knockout. Goodbye, Cresselia.
The way Fabien has set up his board does mean that no matter what he does, there will always be 2 targets for Moonlight Shuriken to take KOs, which
Yeah.
is not ideal. I'm not sure if it's like optimal. I would think it would have been better to not bench that last turn and try to hit like all your Gardevoirs. But maybe if you're gonna take a knockout on the Chien-Pao anyways, the baby Guardy would be in range anyway, so I guess it makes sense to just kind of let it happen.
Right. Yeah, like I mean, Fabien hasn't been hit by it once all round. Like, why would you be scared of it? Don't play around it. You know, it's fine. They just won't have the pieces.
It has been working. It did work this past game. We did talk a little bit about how if there's any deck to come back from a prize deficit, it is the Gardevoir deck. That being said, though, we are running out of time. Amazingly enough, 75 minutes, not enough. So Fabien,
yeah, I don't think this game's gonna actually finish naturally. So
yeah, Fabien is fighting an uphill battle, not only against this prize trade.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
2 items, discarding Owyn off the Pokestop. But yeah, he has to fight an uphill battle, has to come back from this prize deficit while doing so in a timely fashion. Can he do it?
His hand is kind of awkward still with everything here. Yeah, there's not a regular Guardy available. Checking through the discard, seeing what's going on. There's no boss in hand either from what I saw. Oh, no. No, there's a boss.
Oh, yeah, there's a boss.
So, bossing something. Could boss the Greninja here.
Could boss Greninja. Could boss Baxcalibur into boss Baxcalibur. That could be a neat play if you find the other boss.
You kind of just know how scared Fabien is here.
Attaching the reversal, just saying that you can't do it like that. Choosing the Baxcalibur based off the Frigivax.
Makes a lot of sense if Cresselia could potentially come back into play later.
True, it could be relevant.
Looks like Fabien is indeed just going for the double Baxcalibur KO and hope that is enough to slow things down. But the Greninja play is now on the table if Owyn can hit it here. I believe does have another Pokestop in hand.
The clock is working in Owyn's favor.
Oh no, it looks like it's been discarded. So
should be able to get a knockout with the Chien-Pao though, surely, right?
Yeah, has the Iridescent, yeah.
Iridescent can get superior. And I think you're pretty happy.
Looks like Rod is going to come down too, so you can Nestball Frigivax back in, so the double boss play no longer will be an issue.
Right. So Fabien, it'll come down to pretty much Iono and pray, hope that these two barrels doesn't get Owyn out of it. But the Chien-Pao deck is kind of built to have a lot of item cards, a lot of thinnable cards to maximize that barrel value.
Here comes some cards right now.
Cross Switcher Cologne, but only one Cross Switcher away. And in this situation, is it better to do the Cross Switcher play? I guess it is, just to leave the Chien-Pao. It makes it a little bit easier on yourself later. You do only have access to one Gus though. There's only one Gus remaining. I don't believe Owyn plays the boss's orders. One Cross Switcher has already hit the discard, so you can only do that Gus play one time. So if you do it this turn, do the Greninja play, your opponent never has to tackle Gardevoir EX again, so that is kind of a downside of it.
Yeah, getting rid of the Curly with the reversal though is pretty nice. Before it can cause a lot of damage, because we saw last game how it almost lost Owyn the game, right? And it looks like we are just going to see the regular Hailblade here.
Owyn going to hold on to the Pokestop.
Not seeming to be in a rush to go for that play and just taking the easy prizes in front. Chien-Pao might go down pretty easily here to this Guardy when it does evolve. Starting with a Refinement. Gets a Zinnia, so could discard some more energy there.
Another Refinement. In hand. Boss, Research, Iono, Zinnias. Any supporter you want, you can play it if you're Fabien here. But
More
no.
Ionos, why not? There's
Okay.
Ultra Ball,
Ultra
that's pretty
Ball
good.
gets the Baby Guardy, and Reversal in hand does guarantee the KO.
Yeah, pretty nice to guarantee that with without having to put any damage on the Gardevoir, because then Back Caliber can't KO it. And an Iono Hero would be pretty effective at stopping Owyn, because I think there's probably like 6 cards. No, I think it's like 8 cards in deck from what I saw earlier. So it depends on how easily Owyn can thin out to use those B-barrels, but might be hard to get the Greninja play off next turn as a result.
I think if you're Owyn, you didn't use the cross switchers, so I guess you kind of have to do the Greninja play or get a Chien-Pao out, because if Fabien just attaches the Reversal, this Gardevoir won't be in range to be knocked out by anything except Chien-Pao.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a pretty big element to consider. The clock is ticking. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the match, and then we get 3 turns afterwards. So
Yeah,
I
so
think
I think this ends no matter what.
I think
sure.
It will finish.
Unless Owyn gets
But
blocked
it's coming
up.
down to the wire. It's coming close.
Playing the Ultra Ball here. Gonna grab the Gardevoir EX. Yeah, not a lot of cards left in deck, so if an Iono comes down now, you get that entire deck, I think. And everything in your hand goes to the bottom.
Reversal on the active Iono. Owyn gonna be put in a weird hand position, but does have plenty of time to find what he needs.
And 2B Barrel is pretty good at drawing a lot of cards, so.
Fabien actually evolving the Gardevoir EX. I'm not sure if that actually might make it a little bit easier for Owyn. Opens up the cross switcher knockout Gardevoir EX with Chien-Pao route.
Yeah, opens up another alternative than just getting this play off
alone. Yeah, we do see 2 cross switchers, I think.
Yeah, just the 1 energy. Can conceal cards that, but he's gonna start with the B-Barrel for like 1 card? No.
Already used it, I think.
Okay.
To see the cross switcher.
Right, that makes sense. So can't really thin out more from this hand, unfortunately. Very awkward, so it has to conceal cards here. Superior and Chien-Pao, so that is game, right?
Yeah. Game? Yeah, I think that's game.
There's definitely enough energy in discard. Wow.
I wonder how it would have gone if Fabien didn't evolve that Gardevoir EX, though.
Right, yeah, jeez. I think Owyn still had another turn to make something happen, and still Raleigh would have been fine, but it could have made things a little bit dicier, and that'll be a game. So Owyn advancing to top 4 of Lille Regionals.
The Chien-Pao,
yeah.
A little bit too strong for the Guardy to handle. Didn't ever get the clone play off that we kept talking about, mentioning over and over again. But turns out sometimes you don't need it. Sometimes you just get there.
This is so sad. We'll just never see it, I guess, unless we see it again later in the tournament.
I think that proves how strong that matchup is for Chien-Pao.
I guess so. Yeah, you just don't even need it. You don't even need the one play that like really helps swing the match in your favor if you just are fine. So yeah, that's gonna be our top 8. I do not have the outcome of the other match. We'll have that when we come back from break. We're gonna go to a quick break right now, and then we'll be back with our top 4 in a couple minutes. So we're almost done. Oh my gosh. Top 4 and then grand finals. We're catching up so fast. All right. We'll be back in a few minutes, everybody. Stay tuned.
See ya.